Sup, y'all? I got some ideas for you that might help you to advance yourselves. But first, you got to kind of understand the hierarchy of, I guess, like learning to play. And the first thing is kind of like monkey see, monkey do. You know, can you watch a player and kind of be like, okay, what are they doing, and emulate them, imitate? And if you started when you were a kid, that's probably just what you were doing, is monkey see, monkey do. And a lot of natural players, this is like the way that they're kind of learning. If that, I kind of separate natural players from, because there's two kind of pathways. There's natural through like osmosis and just being around it and kind of getting it naturally into your system, so to speak. And then like someone teaching you, and like your parents get you drum lessons. That's kind of different. That's more like academic. And yeah, there's some monkey see, monkey do there, but anyways, that's kind of the first level. And then there's like, so can you play your instrument? It's monkey see, monkey do. Okay, you can play your instrument. Well, you know, what makes a good drummer? Keeping time, motherfucker. Okay, so like being able to hold 16th notes and triplets, basically. And that's for like anyone and everyone who's playing that. And no dropped 8th notes, no dropped 16th notes, no dropped quarter notes. Nothing stupid as dropping an entire quarter note, or even like an 8th note is 16th note. It's all very bad stuff. So that's a lot of work to get to that point where you don't lose time. But even in that span, you can reach a point where you get really good being able to hold 16th notes and triplets amazingly and not ever drop time. But you're still monkey seeing, monkey doing. You're not being creative yet. You're still just kind of learning and emulating other drummers, or learning paradiddles, patterns, chop patterns, and not really creating. So there's a divide. Here's a regular drummers, and you have to go through that. And if you want to skip that and just go into, you know, expressing yourself and, you know, playing with heart and developing your character and, you know, playing with vitality through your instrument, yes, that's great. And that's kind of more, that's the more naturalistic approach. But there's only so far that is going to get you as well, because your actual understanding of who you are in relation to who everyone else is, your understanding of playing and 16th notes, triplets, and theory and all that stuff will kind of come up short. So, and that's kind of like just living your life and being ignorant to everything else and naive to everything else. It's like, yes, you're living your life authentically, but at the same time, we kind of have some sort of social responsibility to be aware of those other things. So,
it can be dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous to live ignorantly and be like, this is bliss, you know, because there's other stuff out there. And honestly, I feel like learning all this stuff is just like, it's, if you really want to become a great drummer, it's respect to the craft. Like if you fully respect the craft, you'll learn what 16th notes, triplets, you'll learn the odd time signatures, you'll go through the hard work of engaging your mind, you know, so that, you know, when you go to do this stuff and play with your heart, again, you can learn all this stuff and then come to try to play with your heart and be like, oh, I have never really tapped into playing with my heart or like expressing character, and I don't know how to do that because I haven't practiced it at all, and you can be terrible at it. So that's also a danger. And it's not to say that these things can't kind of happen simultaneously. It's just that beginners, it's very important that you're gaining a holistic understanding. So you're kind of like, you know, it's about what you play, and it's about how you play it, as I would say. Like what you play, academics are very good at kind of breaking that down and being like, all right, what did Tony Williams play? Well, we're going to transcribe it and put it on paper. And it's kind of, there it is. You can do that with Buddy Rich. It's been done with Buddy Rich. All the greats, they've been breaking down by academics what they played. But, you know, how they play it, that's different. You can't always put that on paper. That, you know, Buddy Rich is sweating profusely and making certain faces, and the way he looks when he's playing, how he's playing it, the zest he's playing it with. You can't really write that down on paper. So there's only so far academics go, but if you're not willing to, you know, learn the craft and the academics, you're cutting yourself off from so much information and awareness of what's happening out there with all the other drummers' brains, which is really the source of your greatness, is other drummers' brains. So it's all of us, you know, it's been passed down through generations. But then there's how you play it, and that's like, I would say that's more in like culture. It's how you play certain patterns and certain feels and grooves gets passed down in Afro-Cuban rhythms for decades and decades, and that has become the culture. And everybody kind of has that certain way of playing what they're playing, to the degree that if someone from the outside comes in playing that, it feels different, and they're like, you're playing that differently, you know, the way you're playing it is different. African music has the same sort of thing. Even metal, how you're playing it, it's like, yeah, play it pretty quantized, and like industrial. It's become even more quantized than industrial, but I still like some grit in there. What else?
Tell me about dance. You have heart, character, vitality, and dance.
So dance is, to me, is like, you know, I don't just, okay, so like Afro-Cuban obviously has dance attached to it. Like salsa music has dance attached to it. There's a component that's cultural, that's, those things are interconnected, and that can give you insight into, you know, how the rhythm is played, and like looking at the feel of someone dancing salsa. Actually, you know, if I would have known that at a younger age, I would have been like, oh, okay, they're interconnected. But I'm also actually talking about, like, to me, playing drums is so physical that you're based, and it's groove based, that you're dancing on the kit in a way. It's the way that it's how you're playing it. And that how you're playing it can't be written down on paper. Like playing like, that's different than it's a different thing, and you can kind of tell. Or like, I don't know, there's a million different ways, but the idea is that your movement is creating a vibe within you, and an emotional vibe, like a dance, and that is coming out some way in your playing that can't necessarily be described by academics. academics tends to teach technique, but they're not going to sit there and be like, this is how you move. I want your shoulder back. Every time you hit, like, they don't teach that in school. You really need like a pocket dude or like guru type dude to be showing you that, which is so rare in academics. So yeah, dance is also a way that it's not a one-to-one. It's a way that you're expressing yourself that helps you change the course of what you're playing sound-wise. And the idea is that it is in some way affecting the sound that is coming out. And I'll also say sound is a huge thing that is going to give you character, that's going to separate you from other people. Is your sound super tight and high pitched, all your toms are highs? Is it tuning? Is it lower tuning? Is it the way that you're hitting the drums? Are you smashing all the time and breaking through the drums? Or is it like, oh, you have great technique and it's not just bashing? There's a level of finesse. So like what you play, it is basically broken down by like, what you put inside of you is the way that you're putting it inside of your body is it's not that, it's this. It's analysis, but it's going into your brain, So, and then we have another way to put stuff inside of you is just by osmosis, which is just kind of like culture being around it all the time. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that this how you play it. I don't know that osmosis goes with that. I just know that it's different than analysis.
Yeah, osmosis, you said, was more so listening and getting the music in your head.
Yes.
Essentially, that's what osmosis
into your
was.
subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this is conscious. The analysis is conscious. And, that's like an academic way. And a lot of times it's going to be, what's played. It can be how it's played too, though. So really, I should not have those there. It should just be, there's osmosis, which is like the natural way, and then analysis, which is kind of the unnatural way. But you can do so much analysis and unnatural working on yourself that it becomes very natural for you to play your instrument. And I feel like I was kind of like a natural at first because my dad's a guitar player, and at a very young age I just wanted to mess around. But then when I was like 8 years old to 14, I was natural. But then I decided that I really wanted to be great. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to work on analysis. And so I started learning more unnaturally all this mind stuff. And then now I'm kind of there's like the Bruce Lee thing where you're naturally unnatural, where, you're just naturally crazy good. But then there's a way to be unnaturally natural, which is you go through unnatural processes to become a natural. But then you're a natural again, so I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of keep cycling, I guess. But hopefully this illuminates maybe the direction you need to take. The foundation, build your foundation, but be mindful of this other stuff that's gonna separate you from just being a regular old drummer. You know, if you want to be somebody special and you feel like music is in your destiny and it's in your soul, then you need to figure out expressing that. And if you really respect the craft, then you're gonna do this stuff too. You're gonna do the academic work, is the respect, and you know, having it within your soul is also important. So if you truly love it, then you're gonna just be listening to music all the time. So it's kind of like yin and yang or something.
Yeah.